We take a lot of things for granted on Earth, like oxygen, sunsets, and, you know, the ability to breathe without an oxygen tank. But what if one day Earth just lost its atmosphere? Like poof, gone, vanished into the cosmic void. Would we still be able to survive? Would birds still tweet? Would sound still exist? Things would get weird and deadly. Let's count down the top mind-blowing effects of Earth losing its atmosphere. The sky would go from blue to pitch black instantly. You know that lovely sky blue aesthetic we all love? That's courtesy of Rayleigh's scattering, where sunlight bounces off air molecules in our atmosphere, scattering blue wavelengths more than others. Without air, there's nothing for sunlight to bounce off dot translation. Our sky would turn into a bleak, star-studded black void. Yep, daytime would look like night on steroids. You'd be sipping coffee at 8 a.m. under a sky that looks like it's 2 a.m. on Pluto. Very Instagrammable, but also existentially terrifying. No atmosphere, no clouds. Clouds are basically big fluffy gatherings of water vapor hanging out in the atmosphere. No atmosphere, no vapor, no clouds. And that means rain, snow, thunderstorms, all gone. Your weather app would be permanently stuck on clear skies, which might sound amazing, until you realize it also means there's no rain to refill rivers, grow crops, or keep you cool during heat waves. Goodbye agriculture, goodbye mojitos with fresh mint dot, and yes, no atmosphere also means no rainbows. Every time you hear Kermit sing The Rainbow Connection, you'll know it's a lie from a lost world. Birds would fall out of the sky. No, seriously. Birds don't just flap around for fun. They rely on air molecules to create lift under their wings. Without an atmosphere, air disappears, and so does lift. So what happens? Well, birds would essentially be grounded, more like crash landed. Picture seagulls doing belly flops mid-air. Not fun for them, and not great for your picnic either. So if you've ever been annoyed by pigeons pooping on statues or your car, take a second and appreciate that their airborne antics are only possible because our planet still has air. You'll miss them when they're not squawking at sunrise. Sound? What sound? Earth would go completely silent. Imagine a world where everything is on mute, not just your phone, but life itself. Without an atmosphere, there's no air for sound waves to travel through. That means no chirping birds, no music, no laughter, no buzzing bees, or lawnmowers waking you up at dawn. Okay, maybe one upside. Even your voice would vanish into silence the moment it left your mouth. You could scream at the top of your lungs, but nobody, not even you, would hear it. It would be like shouting into the void, and the void refusing to respond. Earth would feel like a paused video, eerily still and quiet. The silence wouldn't just be unsettling, it would be absolute. This isn't your average quiet countryside kind of quiet. This is vacuum of space, horror movie, scream and nothing happens silence. And in this film, you're not the hero, you're just the last echo that never made a sound. Oxygen would disappear, and so would you, in 5 minutes. Here's the big one. No atmosphere means no oxygen, and no oxygen means humans and most other life forms wouldn't last more than a few minutes. Like maybe 5 if you're lucky, and very still. Our bodies aren't built for holding breath that long. Within seconds, you'd feel dizzy. Within minutes, unconscious. A few minutes later, game over. Even if you were inside a sealed building, you'd only have the air that was already in there. And without atmospheric pressure, you might not even survive that long. Your lungs would struggle, your blood might start to boil. More on that soon, and things would go downhill real fast. So unless you got a spacesuit lying around, Earth without its atmosphere is pretty much a one-way ticket to nowhere. Ocean life might hang on for a little while. In a world without an atmosphere, things get grim fast, but ocean life might get a slight head start in the survival game. That's because water already contains dissolved oxygen, which fish and other aquatic creatures rely on to breathe. So for a short time, marine ecosystems could keep ticking. But don't get too hopeful. With no atmosphere above, there's no way to replenish that oxygen. Once it's used up, it's lights out under the sea. To make matters worse, the vacuum of space doesn't play nice with water. The oceans would slowly begin to boil away, not because they're hot, but because low pressure causes water to vaporize. Surface creatures would be the first to go, followed by deep sea life as the oxygen crisis spreads. So while fish might outlast us by a smidge, they're just postponing the inevitable. Sorry, Aquaman, this underwater kingdom's on borrowed time. Days would shrink, nights would stretch. Ever notice how the sun seems to rise before it's visible and lingers even after it sets? That's thanks to atmospheric refraction. Our air bends light, letting us see the sun slightly earlier and slightly later than we actually should. Without an atmosphere, those optical illusions are gone. Days would be about 4 minutes shorter, sunrise would come 2 minutes later, and sunset would happen 2 minutes earlier. Nights? A bit longer and a lot scarier. Not a huge shift time-wise, but symbolically, it feels like Earth just turned off its vibe. Atmospheric pressure drops to 0, and so do you. Atmospheric pressure is that silent MVP of survival, constantly pressing in to keep your bodily fluids where they belong. Take it away and things get real ugly, real fast. Without pressure, the liquid in your mouth, eyes, and even bloodstream would begin to boil at normal body temperature. Yep, boiling. No stove required. Your body would start to puff up like a marshmallow in a microwave as gases expand rapidly inside you. Contrary to sci-fi movies, you wouldn't explode, but the swelling would be extreme. You'd lose consciousness in under 15 seconds due to lack of oxygen. Brain damage would follow almost immediately. Your eardrums might rupture and your eyeballs could partially bulge or even tear. Breathing, impossible. Moving, not a chance. If you ever wanted to live a nightmare scene out of a space horror film, this is it. Only you don't make it to the credits. Earth's temperature would go haywire. Literally. Think of Earth's atmosphere as a giant thermal blanket. It traps just enough heat to keep things comfy for humans, polar bears, and pineapples alike. Without it, though, things would spiral into absolute chaos. During the day, sunlight would slam into the planet with full cosmic fury, scorching the surface with no ozone or clouds to soften the blow. Temperatures could skyrocket to well over 120 degrees Fahrenheit, 49 degrees Celsius, or more in many places. But the real kicker comes at night. With no atmosphere to trap the day's heat, all that warmth would escape into space faster than a bad tweet gets deleted. The result? Freezing cold nights with temperatures plunging well below minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit, minus 73 degrees Celsius. Life would be stuck in a brutal yo-yo between boiling and freezing every 12 hours. Forget seasons. Every single day would be an emotional and thermal roller coaster. Cosmic radiation and meteor showers would go unfiltered. Drum roll for the final horror. Space is a dangerous place, and our atmosphere, it's our shield, blocking out deadly solar radiation, ultraviolet rays, and even micrometeoroids. Without it, we're exposed to every cosmic danger the universe throws our way. UV radiation would cook our skin in minutes. Solar flares could fry electronics, and those shooting stars you used to wish on, they'd hit the ground. Hard dot, basically Earth would become a 7.9 billion-year-old rock under constant intergalactic attack. Hope your sunscreen is SPF 10,000. That's all for today's video. If this made you gasp, laugh, or question reality, smash that like and subscribe. Drop it in the comments. We might explore it next. Turn on that bell so you never miss a reality warping upload. Until next time, stay weird, stay curious, and never stop wondering.